Hey there, boss. It's Jean Ontra here, and today I'm coming your way with a video tutorial on how to create a blog using Blogger. You probably will see that other people call this Blogspot. That's because the older name of this Google tool. It's like Blogger is actually a tool that Google created for people to create blogs. And usually everybody recommends that you go with WordPress, but I do understand that sometimes not everybody has the money for hosting just yet. But I also really recommend WordPress. I really highly recommend it. However, if you really are in that space where that's not something that's viable for you, then I think another one that you can consider is Blogger. All right, and today I'm going to show you exactly how you can start a blog with Blog and how you can customize it and make it look pretty even though it is not a WordPress blog, because WordPress blogs, one of the reasons why people recommend it so much is because there's so many themes that you could purchase to customize your website. um but there is a way for you to work your Blogger blog so it looks really professional and really clean and doesn't even look like a Blogger blog. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so first of all, if you already have a Google account, I'd say go ahead and sign in, or you can go to www.blogger.com to get started. And then once you've created an account, you can just go ahead and click right here. As you can see, I've created some posts. I used to use Blogger at the very beginning of my blogging journey, so there's some old blogs right there, but we're going to create a new blog, and let's call the title of this blog Test Blog. All right, and then we're just going to call it Test Blog abc.blogspot.com. So we're just going to keep that. Oh, it says it's not available. All right, so let's try something else. Let's call it Gertrude Nontra because that's my name. All right, so let's create that. And let's call this Gertrude Nontra. All right, so you can go ahead and do that, and then you can choose a theme. It doesn't really matter what theme you choose here in the beginning, you know, as long as you choose something so that you can get started. So we'll just go with this one Contempo that they've chosen for us, and we'll say create blog. Okay, all right, so once we do that, it's going to load up and we will be able to start customizing it. All right, so you could buy a domain from Google Domains. I don't know how much it costs, but I think it probably will cost you anywhere between $10 and $20 for an entire year to register a domain. So if you did want to go ahead and buy a domain, you could do that immediately after creating this, and that way it's not gertrudenontra.blogspot.com, but it could be gertrudenontra.com. all right, but I'm not doing that, so no thanks. All right, so then the first thing I would say you should do is to go into settings. There are a number of things that you can do within settings. All right, so you go to basic. All right, and then you look over here. We said the title was going to be Gertrude Nontra. We could add a description here, and we'll just say this is a test blog. All right, but you could put whatever you wanted there just to describe what you're going to be talking about on this blog. You can go ahead and save changes. It says listed on Blogger, and so it is visible to search engines. And so if you apply search engine optimization techniques to this blog, you could potentially be discovered via the search engines like Google. All right, blog address, we already chose that. You could change it at some point. You could buy a domain like we suggested. These days these days it's recommended that you host your blog on an HTTPS protocol. I do not know all the technical reasons behind it. However, it just turns out that HTTPS tends to be a safer way for people to browse the internet versus the original HTTP protocol. So I would say keep this on yes. All right, don't turn it off. And then because I think I have a this is from my Google Plus account. It just kind of pulled that, and you could add some authors. Okay, all right, so that's for basic, and then you could just go along the list and basically change whatever you wanted to change. And then of course, once you were done with that, it would save the changes that you made. The next thing you can do is to go into theme and then actually choose a theme that you would like. I know that at some point there were people that were selling Blogger themes or Blogspot themes. I do not know if this is something that's still available, but you can simply do a quick search on Google, and I'm sure you would find people that sell some themes, or not. I don't know what it's like, but if we go through here, we'll find some themes. And the nice thing is that you can just click on this the little glass there, and then take a look at what it would look like. All right, so this is nice. Let's see this one right here. That's cute too. All right, so we could potentially change this image right here. Let's see, we want to create a nice little blog. All right, you know what, let's go with this. I like this one a lot. It's clean, it's very modern, right? So let's apply to blog. All right, so now it says theme applied. All right, so now that the theme is applied, we could go ahead and customize it. And this is good because you could change the colors, you could change even the font on this blog. And so right here, you'll notice that we can change the background. All right, so if we clicked on some other color, okay, as you can see, the color has changed, right? It's ever so slight, so it doesn't look so obvious. I think I like how it looked originally. But maybe now I've messed with the text a little bit. We can change that. All right, so let's use the default. Okay, so there. So if you go through and you don't like it, you could use the default. You could go into advanced, and within advanced there are a number of things that you can do. And in advanced there are a number of things. So as you can see right here, you have the body of the blog. So this right here where the blog is going to go, that's the body of the blog. So if we chose a different color for it, it would change, right? But once again, it's always best. Sometimes I go to people's blogs and they have a black background with white letters, and for me that's really difficult for me to read. I'm sure it's good for certain people, but in general a good rule is to have like a light background and dark text, and that is easier, tends to be easier on the eyes of a lot of people. So don't go with all these kind of funky colors. I think a light background with dark text is perfect. All right, so with the header you could also change, and so as you can see, apart from background color, you could change the text. Things that you can do, the title font of each of the blog posts, you know, your blog post text, your comments. You could just go ahead over here and do multiple things to customize this blog that you want to write. Another thing you can do is you can change, and I just went to widths, you can change the widths of different components of your theme. And over here the sidebar is 284, so we could go all the way like that. We could come back this way. We could make the content bigger so we don't have a sidebar. We could make it smaller. You could create a margin. Maybe you don't want that big of a margin. You could change that right there. And all this goes to give your blog the look that you prefer, and not even necessarily something that looks like it's out of a box. So you could definitely change it. Another thing that you can do is actually change the different gadgets, and there's another way for you to do that. Change the different gadgets. So the gadgets for Blogger are kind of like this box here where it's showing my Google Plus profile. Does anybody still use Google Plus? And a few features. So let's go back into Blogger. So we could just apply all of those to the blog and save those. All right, So now that you've chosen your theme, you've customized it to your taste, it shows you both how it will look on a computer and on a phone, which is really, really nice, because the fact that it's responsive is also going to help the user experience when people click on or visit your website. Okay, so that's how it's going to look like on a mobile device, and that's really, really great. So now let's go into layout. All right, so there are a number of things that you can do. As you can see, your blog is organized in a certain way already by Blogger. You can change this. Okay, so for instance, over here, we have the About Me gadget, right? If you didn't want that, you could, and I have this blog live right here so that you can see what that looks like, okay? All right, so right now I have that. Maybe I don't want that, right? So let's delete that. Let's remove that. Okay, so once we do that, we're going to save it, and then we could view the blog. We could just come to the blog and refresh it, and as you can see, it went away. Okay, and so in order to add a gadget, of course, you would click on Add a Gadget, and you would be able to add any kind of gadget. So if we wanted people to be able to search our blog, we would just go ahead and click blog search, and we say search this blog, save, and right here we have a search. And so if we went there and refresh it once again, we would see an opportunity for people to search this blog. Let's add some other gadget. If you had some HTML that you wanted to add in here, HTML is just a simple programming language, and so it's not really hard to learn, and so I'd highly recommend that you go to udemy.com and find like a basics to HTML. I think it's useful for every blogger to know this information, to know HTML. It will help you tremendously. Anyways, so that's one thing. If there was an image you wanted to add in the sidebar, you could do that. So this is just a way for you if you wanted to add some text. So let's say that we wanted to, let's add an image. We wanted to create a little like, oh, welcome to my blog, my name is. So let's do that. All right. So we'd be able to choose that. Alrighty, we'd be able to save it. And then let's say we're going to add some text under the image just as a welcome message for people. So let's do that. And say, we're not going to add a title, but we're going to say, hello and welcome to my blog. All right, let's save that. We can just move it underneath the image so that it's right there. All right, so now if we save this arrangement and go right here to our blog, all right, I think the image is way too big. So let's go to image again and then ask it to shrink to size, because I think this was way too big. So let's save that. So that's a good teaching moment. Let us refresh that. There we go. So now the image fits in our sidebar and it says hello and welcome to my blog. Okay, so all right, so that was a lesson. Just make sure you click that shrink to fit. Just make sure you check that box so that it fits within the sidebar. Okay, and you can see the hello to my blog right there as well. And so that's how you can add different gadgets to your blog so that you can customize it and make it look the way that you want. And once again, I just reiterating HTML. If you are going to collect email addresses, and I'm going to be talking about why this is important in another video for you to collect emails as a blogger, you may want this HTML. You may want to really learn this HTML because most of the time your email service providers like MailChimp or ConvertKit will give you an HTML script that you can copy, and then you can just go ahead and put that there, and people can sign up for your email list. All right, so that's how you could go ahead and customize the arrangement of your blog. Now, you can also add pages to your blog. And so let's say that we wanted to add a new page. We would just click on new page. All right, and we're going to call this the about page. All right, so hello, my name is Gertrude, and you're welcome to my blog. And there, of course, there is an editing bar right here where you can do multiple things. You could change the font, you could change the size, you could create different headers, subheadings, you could bold, you could italicize, and so on and so forth. Add a link, add a video, add an image. All right, and so when you hit save, it doesn't publish. Okay, so you want to make sure you save it and then you publish it. Okay, so let's publish that. So now we have our about page. Okay, so let's view it. All right, so now we have an about page right here. How cool. All right, now let us see. I don't know if with this theme we're going to have the about page right on the blog. All right, it doesn't show up. All right, it doesn't show up here. So what we could do is we could go back to our layout, all right, and add a gadget that allows us to show our pages. So right here, it allows you to show your standalone pages. So we're going to add that. And so right now it allows us to show home. You can select the ones you want to show. So home, about, all right. And when we add more pages, we can definitely add those. If you have an external page that links an external link or an external page, but you want to display it on your blog, let's say you have a YouTube channel and you want people to click that link and go directly to your YouTube channel, you could add that external link by adding your YouTube channel link here. All right, super easy. And then we're going to hit save. All right, and then once we hit save, so maybe we want this at the top. Let's see what that looks like. Let's put that back here and see what that looks like, because it looks like it didn't show up. This may not be the very best theme, to be honest, even though it looks really good. All right, so here we go. All right, so now you have your pages, the home and about, right? So it's nicely organized here. Personally, I like it when the menu is up here on the blog, because it just is where you will find it for most blogs, and people are just accustomed to finding things that way. So this way, even though it's unique and cute, I don't know. Let me know if you like it this way or you like it horizontally. It really is a preference, but I think I prefer it to be a horizontal menu, and for this particular theme. So this is also going to play into choosing your themes, right? That if you choose a theme that, isn't very user-friendly, then that could easily drive people away from your blog, okay? Alrighty, so that's how you create a page. All right, and so you can just go ahead, click on new page, add a new page, save and publish. All right, then of course, last but not least, posts. All right, you could create a new blog post right here. Now, this is the question that people usually ask: what's the difference between a post and a page? A post goes on your blog. All right, so if we create a new post and we said this is a test post, all right, and we saved it and published it, okay, this would now go. Now, I don't want to make this public. Let's share it. I don't want to share it with anybody. Cancel. Okay. So that's one of the other things that Google will do for you. If you were using Google Plus for real, you could definitely share it. I didn't want to share it to anybody, but this is a test post. We could go to our blog now, and if we refreshed it, we would be able to see that new post right here. So your post goes in within the blog, whereas your pages are pages that people can navigate to, that you put information that is more permanent. All right, with your blog posts, you'll notice that with time, people are going to see your more frequent blog posts, unless of course you have done your homework when it comes to search engine optimization, so that people are finding each of your blog posts via the just search engines. And so then sometimes when you publish it may not matter as much, but most people are going to find your most recent blog post right here. All right, so that's the difference between a post and a page. All right, so you've published your first blog post. All right, and then of course BlogUp also makes it easy for you to see your statistics when it comes to who has viewed your blog. Of course, this was me just doing this, so there is one view right here. Okay, and so I could, that's it. So you could view your statistics from here. Now, these statistics just tell you who came to the blog and where they came from. They don't give you as much in-depth information as, say, Google Analytics will give you. So I do highly recommend that you create a Google Analytics account. I will make a video on that. All right, and when you create the Google Analytics account, they have something that is known as a tracking number, and I believe you'll find it under settings. And if you go into settings and other, right, settings and then other, you will be able to add the Google Analytics right here. And with Google Analytics, there are a number of things that you can track. You can track where they came from. You can track which pages they are visiting the most. You can even set goals and track how, where people, the kind of pages you want people to land on, and how many people are getting to those pages. If you have sales pages, for instance, you could track that. That's a little bit more advanced, definitely. But for now, you can definitely use their stats option right here. But I think that Google Analytics just gives you way more information when it comes to the statistics for your blog. So that is how you would set up a blog on Blogger. It is not difficult. So if you're thinking about doing it, I highly recommend that you do. All right, see you soon. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button.